Welcome everybody. Today I'm starting a new series called Tiny Tuesdays. My name is Kelly and I'm really glad you're here. Being able to share my smaller pieces of art with you is something that I really enjoy because I can do this work in an hour or two and I don't have to speed it up as much. I can do it in more or less real time so that you can art along with me. Some of my favorite YouTube art content creators do this type of content, and I love it because I can listen and I feel like I have company, but I'm not required to respond. And I can listen at my own pace. I can stop when I want to, and there's no pressure to engage if I don't want to, And that's why I'm producing this kind of content here now. I think there should be more of it. I think it's helpful to us creative souls. I think it's natural to want to be around other people, other creative people while you're creating. And depending on your style, I know for me, it's a matter of pacing, and that's why I like to hang out with other creators who provide this kind of content, because there's time for me to be inspired by their work at my own pace, and there's time for me to step back and take a look at my own work and see how it's going. I think that's what I'd like Tiny Tuesdays to be about. I'd like it to be a place where you can come and do your own work while I'm doing my work, and you can work at your own pace, observe at your own pace. We can observe whatever's happening, and you guys can comment in the comment section. So we have a little community where we can work at our own pace together. I love to do non-representational work sometimes. It gets me going for other things, but it's art in itself also. It's kind of the warm-up, but sometimes it's the main event too. I love the freedom that non-representational art gives me. Gives me room to explore different techniques, different color schemes, the way things blend together, composition, line work, all of the basic essentials of art, the very fundamental elements. Non-representational art is a very safe place for me. It's a place where I can let my mind wander and basically my feelings just pour out onto the page. It's kind of like art therapy in a lot of ways, but I can be as intentional or non-intentional as I want to be. I can be as intuitive or as deliberate as I want to be. You may notice the fingerless gloves that I'm wearing today, and those are courtesy of my good friend Amy, who has tunnel carpal syndrome. She made these to protect herself from the chafing that comes from wearing the brace. It's basically a cushion that she wears between her hands and the brace. And I saw her wearing them and I said, "Would you please make some for me? I would love to have them. They'll help me protect my artwork." And she, being the kind soul that she is, said yes. So thank you, Amy. I love them. They're perfect. I'm really excited about the development of this channel. I'm very excited about learning some of the new cinematography techniques, and you guys deserve the best. Life is too short for free copyright music. So I invested in a subscription to Epidemic Sound, and I hope you like the music. It allows me to set the tone for the specific video, and it allows me to not have to fill every void with talking. So if you hear some blanks in my dialogue, that is by design, and I have not messed up the audio, I hope. But please do let me know if you hear anything that I might miss on my computer with my headphones. I truly believe that one of the best ways you can keep young and keep vital and alive is to continue learning your whole life. It doesn't end with college. It doesn't end with training that you get for your work. It's a lifelong pursuit, and it's worth your time and effort. At least I really believe it is. It helps me. And it keeps me excited for the next phase of my life. I just recently had a birthday, and it was a big one. And I can go into this next decade knowing that life is still worth living, life is still exciting, there are still new horizons to explore. I'm really taking my time editing this video. It only took probably 55 minutes to make this piece of art and video record it. And I've probably spent already 10 hours editing, and that's part of the learning process that I am really excited about. While I was making this art, I was already imagining how I was going to edit it, and I was thinking about the excitement of adding new music and new visual elements and techniques in the video editing process. I really love learning new things, and it's interesting because I was not a very good student growing up. I was basically got a splattering of A's, mostly B's, a few C's, and I'll admit an occasional D or F when I was in school growing up. And it wasn't really until I was an adult that I became a good student, somebody who loved to learn. I think I'm what you would call a late bloomer. A very late bloomer, and I come from a whole line of late bloomers. People who didn't hit their stride until they were in their late 30s, 40s, even 50s. And here I am, starting my 6th decade, trying out all these new things and trying a whole new way of living and a whole new way of working. Anyway, I'm really glad to be able to share this whole process with you, and I hope that if you're older and you think that it's too late to do anything new, now you know it isn't. You can do whatever you want to, within realistic reason, right? It's not too late though. Now, I really don't mean to say put it off don't worry about it, you can always do it later. I'm not saying procrastinate. I'm just saying that if you feel like your best years are behind you, don't. Go ahead and start something new if it's at all feasible. And I think it is. I mean, within reason. My kids are also late bloomers, and it was a source of anxiety for me for a long time. It's like, am I pushing them enough? Am I doing enough to motivate them? But the thing is you really can't, it's hard to motivate somebody else. And looking back on my own life, I was always very driven, but not always in the right direction. And I have two very creative, intelligent children who, they just march to their own drummer. And the thing is, I really like my children. I don't just love them, I really like them. If they weren't my kids, I would like them. And, everything's changing so quickly. It's okay to, I don't mean to say procrastinate, but it's okay to go at your own pace as long as you're moving forward. At least that is what I'm telling them. And it's what I really believe. Gilding the lily, maybe? I like adding a touch of gold or silver here and there on some of my more abstract paintings. And I'm not sure if I didn't overdo it a little bit here, but that's the whole point of these little tiny, or at least small pieces of artwork. They're non-representational, they're experimental, and they're a learning process, as well as just a vehicle for my own moods and experimentation and exploration. I broke out the Kramer gold for this one. I think it is the bright gold. I'd have to look for you. I'll put it in the description, but as much as it pains me to admit, it's a lot easier to work with than the fine tech. I hate having to admit that. I don't know why. Probably because it's just so hard to get a hold of. They don't always have it in stock. And it takes a long time to get sometimes. But I guess sometimes the best is worth waiting for. In case you're wondering what paint I used my Schmincke. I am really loving the convenience of having that set right on my desk. And it's nice having a set of the same brand for the most part. It's just basically, it makes it easier for me to list in the description. But no, I really do enjoy these paints. They're a joy to work with. I like them a lot. We had our first snow of the season last night, and I got to look out and see it coming down, and I knew, the weather forecasters really, they're trying to keep people safe, so they tend to err on the side of caution. But I could just tell by the way the air felt. I don't know, when you live in a certain area your whole life, you I think you're able to see how things feel. And no, please don't rely on me as the weather person. I don't want to get anybody hurt or anything, but it felt to me like it was a snow that was definitely not going to last. It didn't feel like it was going to get cold enough, but in a way that's nice because it's just I don't know, it's kind of uplifting to see the snowfall and that feel like you're probably not going to have a problem driving in it. You can just enjoy it and not be stressed out by it. For the first time in about probably 5 years, I'm looking toward the new year with increased optimism, and I'm enjoying the idea of the holiday season approaching and preparing for the holidays. We've lost a lot of elderly people in our family, people who we were close to, and maybe we processed a lot of the grief. But this year, it just feels like a more joyous entrance into the holiday season. Maybe we feel a little more ready to start some new traditions and invite friends who are in the same boat we are. And I hope you find some peace and love as you prepare for the new year and the holiday season. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.